The Cowboys will take their high-flying offense into Denver this weekend as they face the 5-2 Broncos. Denver has won 8 consecutive home games, the longest active streak in the National Football League. But they'll face a tough test in the Cowboys offense. Dak Prescott has the Cowboys offense clicking on all cylinders early in the season. The Cowboys have scored 40 points in 3 of their first 7 games, and Prescott has set a Cowboys record of 4 straight games with at least 3 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So, with the strength of the Cowboys being their offense, is Dallas just a defensive trade away from being a legit threat in the NFC, Dan Orlovsky?
They would be a legit threat to make the playoffs. They're not a legit threat to go do anything in the playoffs. Right now, they're not a playoff football team. They give up 30 points a game on defense, okay? 30. Their offense is absolutely spectacular. Dak is playing out of his mind. The 2 receivers are the best 2 receivers in football. It's the best 3-headed monster offensively in the NFL. Defense is a bad unit. Now, much more aggressive last week. I liked it. Much more pressure, much more man. All that, will they continue to do it? But if they made a trade, and there's some names that I think they should go after, I think that gets them a little bit more into the playoff conversation. Right now, this is not a playoff team. Teams that give up 30 points on defense don't make the playoffs.
Mina?
I feel like you said last year and in recent years that the Bengals were legitimate threats despite being very similar. I just want to point out, because that's the comp for me.
Quarterbacks are different people.
Dak Prescott right now is playing as good as Joe Burrow did last year. No, it's true. I'm sorry, it's true. So the question was actually whether or not they can compete if they make a trade, right? I think so. I do. This is a top 3 offense.
Compete in the playoffs?
In the playoffs. The NFL right now feels wide open to me. There's parity. They're getting DeMarvion Overshown back, which is a tremendously important player to return. I would say, Ryan, you can let me know what you think about this. They could go get a corner or 2. A cornerback would be the position that I'd be looking at. Pass rush has not been as bad as it looked in the beginning of the season. An edge would be helpful, but they're getting pass rush on the interior from Osa and Kenny Clark. We have seen teams unbalanced like this make noise in the playoffs before with immensely, elite offenses and, shall we say, mixed defenses or worse. This is not a good defense. I'm not going to pretend it is. But I do think with some improvements, they could trend towards being like 20th or so, and I think that's good enough.
Well, my attitude is if we attach any legitimacy to Green Bay, look at what they did against Green Bay. They put up 40. Yeah, it ended in a tie. But the point is that your offense conveniences. If your offense is prolific, you can convenience the team sometimes. That's just how I feel about it. RC, what's your thoughts?
Yes, I do believe that they compete. I don't think it's one trade away. The one trade has to be an impactful football player that gets the ball. We've heard Max Crosby. If Max Crosby's name is attached to this, and now you add a player on the back end along with Trayvon Diggs being some semblance of his former self, then absolutely. Last year, as the playoffs came or got closer, we all talked about how nobody wanted to see the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs, and they were absolutely putrid on defense. They were so bad on defense that Lou Anarumo, that has the Indianapolis coach playing at an extremely high level on defense, was fired. A coach that was once thought of as a surefire head coaching project or head coaching potential. And so now you look at the Dallas Cowboys with an offense that can score at that clip. And if Dan does believe, which I believe right now, the best trio in football when we're talking about quarterback and wide receiver. By the way, Stephen A., I said that before the season that was a possibility for this group, then absolutely they make the right trade there in there. If this team had Micah Parsons still, I think differently about them.
RC, I'll stay with you and I'll pass this around the table before I go to break. Do we, dare I say, have to reflect upon Jerry Jones' decision with Micah Parsons?
Nope.
Look at it and say, hey, you know what? This might not end up being as bad as we thought it was going to be for the Cowboys. Is it possible?
Yes. No. So it's not possible because we're saying in order to compete with an offense like this, you have to go get a difference maker on defense when you traded that difference maker away.
Gotcha.
Michael Parsons won a football game for the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. Imagine having him with some of the other pieces you have and an offense that right now is absolutely unstoppable. Jerry Jones made the wrong decision. He can now go rectify that by bringing a player in.
Especially given this is a Super Bowl caliber offense. I really believe that. And to trade away a player like that, you do it when you're a rebuilding team. You do it for contractual reasons. But to me, it's jeopardizing this season. And it turns out in this season, they're really competitive on offense. And I want to add one thing, because the Bengals comp is the one that keeps coming up. You know what's the difference between this offense and the Cincinnati Bengals? They can run the hell out of the ball. We're talking about the receivers, and they're amazing. They're incredibly balanced, too, Dan.
I would agree with that. So here's where I stand with this. One, they give up right now in Dallas about 30 points a game. There have been 2 teams in the last 25 years to give up more than 27 a game on defense and make the playoffs. I think it was the 2020 Titans and then like the 2000 Rams. So right now, this team ain't making the playoffs. We have all the evidence in the world that defensively they're not. Now, if they make a trade, and I think they should, it's do they call the Jets for Jermaine Johnson? Do they call the Dolphins for like a Jalen Phillips? Do they call the Bengals for Trey Hendrickson in the next week if they lose type of thing? That's the only way that they get into this conversation. But as great as this offense is right now, they're not beating Detroit. They're not beating the Rams. They're not beating the Bucs. They're not beating Seattle. They're not. The offense is a very good offense. It's playing great.
Well,
this defense is very poor.
So it's not possible that Jared Goff might throw a couple of picks. It's not possible that Sam Darnold might wilt beneath the pressure as the playoffs arrive. It's not possible for that to happen.
The problem is this, though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the problem is going to be, though, the Seattle Seahawks can actually play defense.
No doubt.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys, as great as they are, aren't going to put up 40 on everyone. And with those teams also having some offensive balance, that's where the problem comes in. Even when you look at this team go on the road and play some of these games against the Carolinas and not be able to stop a Rico Dowdle, and Carolina find enough ways to get stopped. So that's going to be the problem for the Dallas Cowboys, which is why they need someone on defense that could be a difference maker.
And let's see what they do this weekend, okay? Like they're going on the road, which they scored less at, against a
Really
great
good
defense.
defense, yeah.
They've lit up bad defenses. Washington bad, Giants
Green Bay?
bad. Green Bay's the one.
Put up a 40 burger on that Packers
That's
defense.
the one. That's
Play
the one.
teams in front of you. Okay, let me ask you this. If they put up 30 plus on Denver, are you going to recant your position? That they
About
could make
what?
That they could make noise in the playoffs?
Nah. They give up 30 a game.
Roll back the tape on him talking about the Bengals last year.
They're not the
That's all I
same
have to say.
quarterback.
Better question. Is Dan Orlovsky capable of recanting his previous takes?
I
Is
am-
that even
I am the
capability?
one-
Great
I'm not
question.
talking to you. I'm
That's a
asking
great
her.
question.
I'm
I
asking
say
her.
it all the time.
I'm asking her. I'm not asking you.
I admit when I'm wrong all the time.
Is he capable?
I've seen it happen. I will give him
you can't-
credit, but it's very rare. It is very rare.
RC, you agree with that? It's very rare.
No,
It's very
because
rare.
you have an ego.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna say now it's because I'm hardly ever wrong. Like that was what was coming.
Does that sound like
next.
someone who
But the
recants
one
his
thing
takes?
about Dan, though, if he's dead wrong, maybe if Twitter points it out to him enough.
You know what? He'll
invitation.
acknowledge it, right? With this big cheesy smile on his face, all innocent, like, who, me? I didn't
But
mean
here's
anything
what I don't
by it.
understand
And that's
about
what
you
happened.
guys. Here's what I don't understand about you guys. Like, you don't have a pride level in doing your job at a high level. Of course, I want to be right all the time. Like, of course. Am I wrong? Yes.
Right. You got that?
It's not like I'm going to celebrate it.
You got that off your chest? Are you feeling better now?
I didn't feel bad about it to begin with.
Yeah, you did. Sam Darnold has the Seahawks right in the thick of things in the NFC West. So why does someone here think the Vikings didn't make a mistake letting him go? We'll talk about that up next. First Takes in the house. Don't go away.